Welcome on into another exciting episode of The Voice of the Land. I am your host tonight, always Positive Jay. On my side here is my man, Brian Mosser, and as always, producing the man, the myth, the legend, Peter Tellup. We are brought to you by part of the Big Play Network and sponsored by Greeny Sports Cards. And we'll have a little announcement coming up with them, a little something soon. We'll tell you more and just watch our Twitter handles and Instagrams and all that good stuff. But tonight we are talking about what, Ryan?
Buckeyes National Championship.
That is damn straight, brother.
Heck yeah.
What a game, guys.
Dude.
Where'd you guys watch it? I watched it at home by myself as usual. I'm the same way. When I watch like intense games, I got to be by myself. I can't be in crowds. I don't want no distractions.
Can't be around family.
No.
I have to have my own opinions because otherwise I'll get in arguments. So.
Yeah, Jacob and I watched it in the living room.
See, I could have watched it with my dad, but my dad's the most paranoid. Like, he gets mad about everything. If like the smallest thing goes wrong, he's like, "Oh, this game's over. They're gonna ruin it." He gets all mad, and I can't handle
I
that.
can't do that. Nope.
But yeah, I mean, it was a hell of a game. It was a classic run. I mean, we're the first of the new playoff systems. We were the first of the original playoff systems. This is what Ohio State apparently does, Ryan.
Dude, it's amazing. A few weeks ago, I was calling for Ryan Day's job. I'm gonna admit it. I thought his coaching.
You and 90% of Buckeyes fans.
Yeah, well, I might have been leading the way. I'm not sure. I've been pretty critical for a few years, but really critical after this, loss to Michigan. But looking back now, I don't give a crap about Michigan. I care about the tradition. I don't care about what happened at that game. We won a national championship. There's no asterisks like there is from last year's Michigan national championship. We won it fair and square. We went through adversity. We went through the hardest side of the bracket and kicked everyone's ass.
I mean, what, top five players?
I think
teams or something?
Like, I think the only team we didn't play in the top 10 was Georgia, but it's just because they weren't good enough to play us. So
yeah, and their quarterback was out, so it wouldn't have been a challenge anyways. And I think Notre Dame had a pretty easy way through, but they're going to be good. Hats off to Notre Dame for what they did. Their coach is probably one of the best young coaches already come from.
Yeah, he's a Buckeye.
He's a Buckeye. Of course he's going to be good. Come on, guys.
No, I just like how he's humble. I like how he's well-spoken. I like that, how hard of it had to be really hard for him, playing his alma mater and then in his first national championship, spotlight on him, and he handled it with class. His team fought at the end, and one thing about his team is, just like those Tressel teams, they are scrappy and they're ready to go. And I thought I was calling for a 40-point blowout. I thought they had no chance. At one point, we were up 31-7, and I felt like we kind of stepped off the gas there a little bit, but nonetheless, we won. And hats off to Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame, and they'll be in the playoffs for sure again. So
he's going to get another. He just got a 8-year contract. They're going to rip that up, and they're going to have to pretty much make another one soon because he may have lost, but the way that they came back in that kind of stage shows what kind of coach he is. Like, he was clearly playing a superior team, and they fought, dude. I mean, they were pretty good outside the running back who said they wanted Ohio State.
Yeah.
He wanted Ohio State. How'd he do?
4 yards for 3 carries.
Good job there, buddy. Yeah. I mean, you got to bet.
He was hurt, but still.
No, he came in saying he was healthy.
That's what he said.
So I got to go by his word. He wanted us, and he lost, and pretty much got shut down. The big talk now today is everyone wants Will Howard for a Browns.
Yeah.
What do you think? I know you do.
I do. I've liked Will Howard all year. I liked his tape last year. I think he's played a lot of games. He's a winner. He's played in some big games before this year too. And after this year, we see he's a leader. He's got the measurables. He's 6'4", 6'5", 240 pounds, and run like a mammoth. He's huge. A little heavy-headed, so he likes to fall down a little bit here and there. But I think he just gets a little excited once he's got daylight a little bit.
Built and playing style is Big Ben or
Josh
Steve
Allen,
McNair.
Yeah.
Josh Allen might be a little more on the arm strength.
Sure.
Because just has saying that Will Howard doesn't have arm strength. Just Josh Allen has something ridiculous.
I'm excited to see the combine too. I haven't looked at the rookies coming in yet. I like to do some scouting just personally for fantasy football and stuff. I'll do
our guys here. Wait, we got a guest?
Yeah.
Breaking in. Who's this guy? There he is. The man. How you doing, Kevin?
I'm good, guys. I'm as good as it can be right now. That's for sure.
I like your new moniker at work. One part of that, one half of the Buckeye Bros.
Buckeye Boys. I
Buckeye
guess
Boys.
sounds good too, but then people start thinking about Baker Bros. And
Yeah, we'll go with the Buckeye Boys. I loved
Yeah.
it.
yeah, the Buckeye Boys, and I guess our theme song is the same one from the night at the Roxbury. I don't know.
You guys
Baby,
were
don't hurt
every
me.
person in the studio cannot do it. By the way, you guys looked so bad. It was like
Great movie.
I was giving myself a headache doing it.
I'm sure you were. I mean, you probably up late and had a hell of a night the night before. What is your reaction and everything that you saw throughout this whole run, Kevin?
I mean, it's what we expected to see the whole season. I can never say that losing to that team up north is good or it was best for the team, anything like that. I can't put those words in the same sentence, but it did what it was supposed to do. Losing that game did what it was supposed to do. It kicked them in the ass. It made these guys care about the scarlet and gray that they wear, the block O that they wear on the front of their chest, not about what's on the back and how much money they're making in NIL. They cared about the Buckeye leaves on their helmets and Buckeye Nation everywhere. And they knew that they needed to put on a show, and they absolutely did that in those 4 games. And I know you guys are talking about Will Howard, and people are already talking about him. They want him to come to the Browns. I think we should temper that conversation because that's recency bias. And I also don't think that if he drops, in other people's eyes, if he doesn't test as well at the combine, that's also not fair. Just put on the tape. This guy can make all the throws. He has definitely learned a lot about the quarterback position from Ryan Day and the crew at Ohio State, because what did we expect to see when he was coming from Kansas State, guys? A running quarterback. And every time he ran, he never had the right cleats. He was always falling down. And
The turf monster hates that dude.
Yep.
Yeah. And it just never seemed like he had the same speed that he had at Kansas State. But that's totally fine because he was very professional in how he approached the quarterback position. And people want to call him a game manager because all the talent at Ohio State, great. He's the most elite game manager that you'll ever see in college football for 1 year.
Yeah.
And he can make all the throws. You're going to have talent like they had at Ohio State more consistently on the NFL level. That's why guys make it to the NFL. Only a select group of players make it to the NFL. And I think he's going to have success. Now, if the Browns end up drafting him, am I going to be excited? Sure. But I'm not here to say, oh, you have to go get Will Howard right now. Like, let's let the process play out.
I think it's just a fantasy dream of all of ours. Like, dude, every year we have Buckeyes that we want. Like, we all can't wait 2 years from now. We're all going to want Jeremiah Smith. And the years before, we wanted Santonio Holmes. And you end up going to the damn Steelers and everyone. Now the one that's driving me nuts is it's like every single mock I see has a Buka going to the Steelers. It's like, all right, like you said, let's just let it happen and all. I wanted to talk about him just as an NFL prospect, to be honest. Like, I truly think that dude has the potential of being a really good NFL quarterback if he's put in the right situation and coached up the right way.
Well, look at it. Look at what he did in 1 year.
Oh, he led it. He took over one of the biggest names in college football with probably like all-stars all over, and he became the leader immediately. He took over that team. He was the leader of that team, and they'll all say that.
Yeah, they all do say it. I mean, Jeremiah Smith has said it. All of those guys, like, that was a very connected group of seniors that decided to come back. And Will Howard was not. It didn't ever feel like he was on the outside looking in. Maybe at the beginning of the year, but especially at the end, he was not on the outside looking in. JTT, Jack Sawyer, Emeka Egbuka, Travion Henderson. I can go on and on and on. Even Quinshon Judkins, just like Will Howard. They were all part of that group, and they were brought in to that. But guess what? Look at what 1 year difference, because I'm not here to say that Kansas State doesn't prepare you to be a professional, but we know Ohio State does that much better than most other schools in the country. 1 year of professional level coaching. Imagine what this guy can do in the NFL if given the right opportunity, if coached up right, and then put in the right situation and not just thrown out there because there's a bunch of injuries to your quarterback room.
Let's not. I mean, it seems like we're painting Will Howard to be the next, golden arm quarterback, and he's a good prospect. I'd project a third round, but probably get it pushed up to the second round depending on necessity. I know it's a not very good quarterback class, so usually those guys get pushed up.
He can go as high as the second and go as low as the sixth round.
Yeah, I'd be happy. I mean, if the Browns think that's their guy, take him at 33. I'm happy with that. Go best player available, or trade back and get some assets for second overall. But I mean, I haven't watched the tape yet. I said I'm going to watch some tape, look at all the quarterbacks and be objective about it. But what I've seen, I mean, yeah, I'm biased, but I really like Will Howard.
Like once we get closer to the draft, like I cannot wait to hear your analysis on draft prospects, because I'm going to tell everyone listening to the show, this dude knows his stuff, and he's not going to just watch highlights. He's going to watch everything, and he's going to know, and he's about to hit y'all with some serious knowledge for our draft coverage. But we're talking right now. We're just talking Buckeye prospects, because we got guys moving on.
Let's be very, very clear. Like, Will Howard is still a third or fourth round QB, and we know where
he should go.
Yeah,
but he's a quarterback.
It's subjective. We'll see.
And we also know, like, when you get taken as a quarterback in that second or third tier, like, how much is actually being expected of you, or like how you can actually be. That's why I'm saying, like, Will Howard has talent to be a good NFL quarterback if put in the right situation, and he keeps his mind right when he's not in the culture of Ohio State. If you're in a different culture and it's not as strong, what happens to each player? Do they buy into that? Do they try to help bring it up because they've been a part of better culture before? That's all things that he's going to have to answer. But I'm happy for him with all the question marks coming into this season. Him and Ryan Day, which I know you guys probably have or haven't touched on just yet, but I'd love to talk about Ryan Day. But I'm happy for those guys because all the question marks around them, they didn't just answer the questions, especially Will Howard, didn't just answer the questions. He far exceeded them in the biggest moments of his career, one after the other, against really, really, really good defenses each and every single time.
Right.
Totally agree. 100%. And like I said, we were talking before, once all the worst names came up, like, oh, we gotta fire Will or Ryan Day. Everyone, us, people on this show said it all over the world. Ryan Day's got to go. He lost to Michigan. He lost to Michigan. And those players responded to that so much, and they proved what he meant to that team, the way they played. They showed it. They're like, no, they went. I'm telling you, they went and won this thing for Ryan Day, and obviously themselves, but that was the motivation that pushed them. It was that loss. And they're like, no, we got our coaches back. We're pissed about losing to Michigan, and we're about to show everyone what he and us are made of. And they did it. And they shut every single person up. You got Michigan fans trying to say that this is their national championship too, and some weird cockamamie idea that they came up with. Like, dude, all the teams that beat you, we beat too. So everything you come up with makes no sense whatsoever. And
it's a different team too than when we played Michigan. I mean, this team that played these last 3 or 4 games would have destroyed Michigan. I know, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but we're the champions. Who gives a crap?
Yeah. Well, and so
I wish we could play Queen.
A quick little response to these so-called TTUN fans that think they deserve some sort of prize along with us because
the Bushwhack fans.
Let's look. I can be very honest. I'm going to be like Eminem in 8 Mile, where he's going in the final battle and he says everything you're going to say against him before you can say it, and then makes the other guy speechless. Yeah, none of these seniors have beat that team up north. They did not win a Big Ten championship. But what are you in this for? What do you win from winning that against that team up north? It's bragging rights and the possibility to go into the Big Ten championship, but not always, because it's not every year.
Now everything is different now. There's a 12-team playoff. It is now more like the NFL. It's like, that's like someone saying, I'd rather lose rather beat the Steelers and never win the Super Bowl. It makes no sense. You could lose to the Steelers twice and still win the Super Bowl. And no one would ever care about losing to the Steelers that year. They'd be like, oh my God, the Browns won the Super Bowl.
Right.
That's how it is now. It's just you want to beat them. It means the world to you to beat that team, but it's not the end of the world if you lose. You continue on, use it as motivation like they did, and go win what the main goal is a national championship. You will remember every single national champion team from Ohio State. You know what I mean? It's stuff of legend, dude. Those guys, what Sawyer did in that one play, the scoop fumble to run it back and ice that game, like the run they had is legend.
Yeah, it's one of the best you've ever seen, winning a college national championship. And my only fear with this whole new era of college football, the 12-team playoff, the NIL, transfer portal, all of that, is that game that we were raised means so much still. The game at the end of the season against your arch rival loses its prestige, its luster. It
doesn't. I don't think it's like I just told you, dude. We've lost how many damn times in a row to Pittsburgh or the Ravens? When you have a rivalry, it still means that. And I think it's still the greatest rivalry in all sports because just the pure anger between those two teams.
As long as the teams and the players buy into the rivalry, the fans will as well. So
that's where my fear is. It's not about us, the fans. Like,
it's
we're
the
always
team. That's why Michigan won. Because when you have a real rivalry, it's never going to be a close game. You always have to worry about that opponent because they are going to bring it more than any other game. Right. And I hate to say it, but that's why they won, because they wanted to beat us so much more than any other person they played that year. That was their Super Bowl.
Hey, guys, I got to go.
All right,
buddy. Have a good night.
Lincoln just fell. I got to go.
You're good.
He's got to go. He'll be on the mend. He's tough. He's an Arnold.
That was
He'll bounce back.
Yeah, he's dealing with some family stuff, so he's staying at home. It was awesome to have him join us and talk some Buckeyes.
Oh yeah, that's the new Baker boys that they call them at ESPN Cleveland.
Not Baker.
I mean, I'm sorry, Buckeye boys. I'm mixing them all up over here. I'm all excited, but yeah, I mean, it was a hell of I don't know where I rank it. I don't even want to rank it against these other championships.
Are you talking, in fandom championships or Buckeye championships?
Buckeye championships. Who cares about the other teams?
I mean, the Cavs championship is still my favorite. So, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, so that has to be a valid point. But I mean, for me, I would say, are we ranking or no?
We got 3 national championships that we were around for. Which ones? How would you guys rank them? We'll rank them. Why not? We need some content.
Go ahead, Peter.
Oh, geez. Okay.
We kick Kevin to the curb.
Yeah, I know. It's a really good question because I think the one in 2003 will always hold a special place in my heart because I suffered through the John Cooper years, and that was, the overtime against Miami. It was, edge of your
team filled with
David
all pros.
Yeah, edge of your seat. The whole time. So that
you had plays like what Maurice Corrett made, the rip fumble after the interception on one of the greatest players of football ever, and Sean Taylor. Like, it was no scrub. It was Sean Taylor you ripped that from.
Well, and then we had, the one and that's just it. It's that each one of them is kind of.
That's why I said I can't rank them.
Iconic, right? Because then we, like you guys mentioned, that when they went to the playoff format with the 4 teams,
beat Alabama.
Yeah, we won that
backup quarterback,
third string quarterback.
A third string quarterback.
So,
I mean, that was an insane season. Right. Just everything that they had to overcome that season, and it's like
that's crazy.
You're like next man up, and it was no one really expected that. I didn't expect it, and now we went to this, after losing the big game. To the team up north, and then the road that we had to go down,
right?
That we deserved
to go, and you had and I understand like Oregon and some of the teams that had the bye kind of complaining that these guys won their conference championship and they did not have an easy road either. But here's the thing is they're like, well, they didn't have an easy road because they had to face the Buckeyes. Yeah, but we were seeded 8,
right?
And it's not our fault we were seeded 8.
It shows why you need that playoff system.
Yeah.
We definitely proved, because look, it was the 7th and the 8th team
Yeah.
playing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I don't care what you guys say in your
Yeah.
points and how many points you upscore on all these crappy teams you play. Why don't you let the top best teams play it out and see who is the best team? And it was us.
Yeah, Peter, you're right though. I feel like it is kind of hard to rank them, especially, each one has its own sense of adversity that we've overcome. It's almost like a Cinderella story in a way, beating the juggernaut team and then coming back with our third string quarterback, like you said, and then obviously this year. Yeah, that's pretty difficult. I don't want to rank them now.
I told you, once you start thinking
Yeah.
about it, man, they're all so special.
For me, though, Cavs will be number one. I mean, Buckeyes were my first love, but that championship just, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and they're on the road to go to another
We'll
one.
see,
They'll
yeah.
keep playing. They're playing tonight down in Houston, who's their tickets selling for $8 because they had a winter storm in Houston. Thoughts and prayers to anyone that's having any kind of problems in this freezing cold weather. I'm finally starting to thaw out because my man Peter has this heater going, dude. And I'm like,
Feels good.
this is, I think, the first time all day I felt warm. Let's talk about the rest of the teams that's going to be going into the draft. You got a Jack Sawyer. Is he going to be a first rounder now?
I could see it.
Who are your first rounders on this team?
for Ohio State?
Yeah, I'm not great at remembering names. I ain't gonna lie.
It's gonna be hard. I think Jack Sawyer could get up there. I think that JTT could also get up there, depending on which team likes them.
Because I think you're going to see a run on defensive ends in the first round this year.
Yeah. I'm blanking on the.
Who's the defensive tackle they got?
Oh yeah, Tyleik Williams is going to be a first rounder.
Yeah,
I think.
he's
If not,
a
he'll be
beast.
very early second round. He's
Our left
insane.
tackle or right tackle. I'm not sure.
He was our left guard. That one of our left tackle. Why am I blanking?
Who's the guy who got hurt?
I'm blanking on offensive lineman right now.
You're supposed to be my draft
Dude,
guy, man.
I know. I hate being put on the spot. Josh Simmons is one of them, right? Donovan Jackson's the other one.
Yeah.
And I think it's Josh Simmons. Donovan Jackson was our offensive guard. He went over. I think he was projected like top 50. I think he's played himself. And from going from left guard over to left tackle and doing what he did, I think he's played himself to a first round pick. He might be second or third tackle off the board. I think he is a tackle. I think he's big enough. And I'm really excited to see what happens with him.
I need all you people that do the little, the Twitter thing where they got the candles lit and they're like, what do they call them?
The
prayer circles or something. I don't know what the hell they call those things. I need one of those. Ibuka, not to
He'll
Pittsburgh.
be a first round pick too.
I just don't want him to go to Pittsburgh. God, I hate when that happens, dude.
Yeah, I'm worried about Will Howard going
it
to
drove
Pittsburgh.
me nuts to watch Antonio Holmes play for them. I'm like, I love you so much, but why them?
Yeah.
And if it's like the Meatloaf song, anybody but them.
Yeah, I'm worried Will Howard will go to Pittsburgh. And
Yeah,
do
of
well,
course.
so that's my fear.
Why'd you just do that, dude? I got to go to sleep tonight, man. Now I'm going to have nightmares of the draft. But with the 55th pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers take Will Howard. I'm like, oh my God, what happened?
Sweating, waking up. Yeah.
thank
Emeka
God it
will
was
be
just a
a first
dream.
round pick, I think, for sure.
He'll be in the teens. Like teens to
there
20s.
are quite a bit of receivers. We'll see what Travis Hunter does. He'll be top 5 or.
What do you think about him?
I think he should play receiver. I think that's where the money is. I think he's not the best at either position, so that's hard. But a dynamic hybrid player like that, if you can find an actual position, not
Like
and try to
I'm
keep him
saying
stick
for
to
the
it.
Browns.
Not at 2. I don't think we should take him at 2. I think trade back, maybe he could be a possibility, but there are bigger needs. And if I'm taking a receiver, if I'm going for Travis Hunter as a receiver, I'd rather take, Ted McMillan out of Arizona or one of those guys, 6'4", runs really fast, has great hands. Or Luther Burden, another receiver. I don't see him playing corner in the NFL.
I want
he's
McMillan so bad.
undersized.
That's
I
my
love
dream
Ted
pick.
McMillan.
The
him.
last receiver I liked like him was DK Metcalf, and everyone's like, you can't run
And
routes.
DK was a third round. This guy's going to be top 5 for sure, top 10. So
I went to that draft. It drove me nuts, dude. I'm like, we passed on him 3 times. Are you kidding me? 6'5" and ran like a 4.2. What is wrong with you people?
No, there's That's
That's why I'm so I'm not getting excited about this draft. I'll tell you right now.
I'm excited.
I know you are, and I'm gonna let you
lackluster as
go
the
off on it,
quarterback
but I ain't
position
gonna lie.
is.
Andrew Berry has me pooping myself.
Yeah.
That here's my fear. They're gonna take the quarterback at 2, and he's not gonna do good because there's just a rookie quarterback. Then everybody's gonna get fired, and they're gonna bring all these new people in, and they're like, "Well, I didn't pick that guy, so I'm not gonna give him his fair share to actually do anything." and then he'll be shipped off somewhere. And then we're gonna have to start the cycle all over again. And it's just going to keep repeating itself and repeating itself and repeating itself.
If they take a quarterback at 2, that's exactly what's going to happen.
I know they're going to drive me nuts.
Unless
if Cam Ward or
I think
Sanders comes here and he is
last
amazing.
year, both of these guys would have been a second-round pick, and I cannot justify reaching for a position just because of being desperate. Go for an offensive lineman. Go for Geno.
You can't
Smith.
Justify it. But I'm gonna let you know, like they all do it.
They do great, but
we're probably gonna
and it's usually a mistake. Usually,
probably.
Especially when if you can find the right guy in the right system. I mean, look at Brock Purdy and the 49ers. They drafted
Trey
Josh
Lance,
Allen
in
right.
Buffalo. Though.
Well, but they drafted Trey Lance second overall. Got Brock Purdy as Mr. Irrelevant, and this dude is taking him to
Anytime you take any quarterback, no matter where you take him, it's a
right,
gamble
for sure.
And your percentages go lower the lower the rounds are. That's just
right. Like I said, I haven't done all the scouting.
No,
I'm just not highly confident in Sanders for what I've seen. I think that's just we've had so much drama with quarterbacks in our history. I just don't want to do that again. I'm tired of it. I don't want it anymore.
So I always try to go in the position now of I don't even want to attach myself to any of the quarterbacks. I'm just going to let myself get excited for the person that we're going to draft and ruin.
I don't like that. That's Stockholm syndrome. I just feel like I'm going to have my opinion. I'm going to figure it out. I've had
them. I just can't do it no more. I don't want. If I do that, it's like I'm getting emotionally attached. I'm trying to not be so emotionally attached to the Browns because they're just killing my soul.
Don't get me wrong. I see one video in training camp of them throwing a bomb to Jerry Jeudy or something. I'm be like, all right, look, this is
that's what happens. Oh, I'm not gonna lie.
I did that with Deshaun Kaiser. I did that
Emmett
with
Smith,
Johnny Manziel.
Emmett Golden would always say on the radio, Browns fans, all they need is a hypothetical first down, and we will be back involved. Game, we need a first down, and the whole outcome of the team. You need a hypothetical first down, like a draft pick or something, and we get pumped and we're ready to go.
Right.
I want to pivot real quick before we end the show because we're going to cut a little short today. Today was it today or yesterday? CeCe Sabathia was announced for the Hall of Fame, and first off, congratulations to you. My dad absolutely loved that dude and was calling for his name to come up, and he proved him right as usual. That dude knows his stuff, but what a hell of a career!
Right.
He's not only had a hell of a career, but he's had a hell of a life. He had some struggles with alcohol. He's completely turned that around, and just wanted to say congratulations to him. And I brought up to you guys earlier, and I was having this debate online. Who do you think will be the next Hall of Fame Guardians/Indians player to enter?
Who do you think will or should? There's a difference.
Yeah, we'll say should because the Hall of Fame writers suck.
Should I would go Omar, friend of the show, your good buddy Omar Vizquel. I just he's one of the best to ever do it, and I think he deserves to be in Cooperstown. Next player though, I would argue maybe Jose, maybe the next representation of the Guardians or Indians will be Tom Hamilton. I don't know if there'll be a player. We'll see. There's a couple pitchers out there we like. I know you want to talk about one, so I won't talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get to him in a minute.
Yeah, but I would say Omar deserves to be the next one, but I think Jose will be the next one.
What do you think over there, Peter?
I'd have to agree with Omar. I mean, I think that how many gold gloves?
I think it's 7.
A lot.
Yeah. And I mean, he's just
it was Ozzie Smith had 13.
But
but he came up in an era with Jeter, Nomar Garciaparra, Miguel Tejera. Dude, there's Alex Rodriguez. There's just Hall of Fame after Hall of Fame after Hall of Fame shortstops, and that I think hurts him.
Buried him a bit.
What about Kenny Lofton
or
Manny?
Yeah,
Manny will get held out because the writers again. What we think he should and what will happen. Writers for baseball are clowns, and I think they suck and need to be removed from their jobs. But that's just my opinion. We can get in it a whole nother day.
And some of these guys also might not be represented by Cleveland as well. I mean, I know
CeCe. What do you guys feel about CeCe going in as a Yankee?
I troll a little bit. I say he should, but honestly, he won a Cy Young with Cleveland, but he did everything with the Yankees. He had 20 playoff appearances. He was a beast with the Yankees, so I get it. But I'm gonna say Indians/Guardians just because that's where he came from, and I'm tired of farming out all these guys to other teams. So
the Cleveland farm system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's Corey Kluber.
Yep.
That's the next guy
I
who
can
I
see
think
it.
should be in. I think the next guy that will get in, and people are kicking back on me because he doesn't have a whole lot of starts. I think it's somewhere like 179 starts is the least amount for the a pitcher to get into the Hall of Fame with. And I think he's got like 130 something.
Yeah.
But like I was telling you guys, of Hall of Fame eligible pitchers, 22 have no, there's been 22 multiple Cy Young winners. 21 that are Hall of Fame eligible have won or been entered into the Hall of
Right.
Fame. The only one I said that hasn't is Roger Clemens.
Right.
And again, it's because he's held out because of steroids or whatever. But I don't know if the writers knew that dude was a Hall of Fame pitcher long before he started probably doing steroids. So again, everyone else is doing steroids. That whole era, it's
Stupid.
that's a whole
Yep.
again, that's a long conversation I can get into about baseball and how absolutely ridiculous the Hall of Fame writers are for keeping certain players out, like
It's so dumb.
Pete Rose, who bet on his team to win and he's not allowed to be in, but Ty Cobb, who might be one of the most horrible people in the entire world history, is in the Hall of Fame. But bias, double standards, and all that good fun stuff. Well, guys, I think we're gonna call it an early night. It's freezing cold outside. You got a headache. Peter looks tired.
I'm exhausted, man. It was it was hard to fall asleep after that win on
Yeah.
Monday
I was
night.
riled up.
So
Yeah.
I feel that one, dude. Because
Yeah.
you guys know me. I'm in bed and sleeping at 9 o'clock, unlike Ryan, who's
2
pretty
a.m.
much
every
starting to
night.
just wake up.
yeah, I mean, honestly during the game, that game in the playoffs, I was most nervous about that.
I was so.
And at the beginning of that game, and then it's like I got better, and then
Oh.
you get all that emotion, right?
How did you guys feel after the first drive of
He couldn't sustain. He was vomiting, dude. I knew.
Yeah.
I
I knew how
he was
you-
so gassed.
I
the
agree.
thing that scared me is they won in the trenches. I'm like, dude, they are like pushing our guys
Yeah.
around.
I wasn't worried.
And but I was like, all right, it's just the first drive. It's just the first drive.
Yeah.
I've watched Kevin Stefanski first drives work a whole
Right.
bunch. Of my life.
that's exactly what I was thinking. Is how many Browns games that we
Like,
watched
yeah, there
where
we
it's
go,
like
first
the-
drive,
where
and then it's just
they've
like
got the first drive is
that was
like
the only drive.
perfect, and that's the only points they score.
Right.
And honestly, I was a little worried, but then even before they actually scored, just seeing how gassed he was,
Mhm.
and the announcer saying, because they had said before when that drive started that he would have to, they'd probably have him run like 15 times in the game, and he ran 9.
Yeah, in the first drive.
on the first
Right.
drive, and he just looked like.
It
I'm
took
like
it
he
out of
can't.
him.
I'm like he can't sustain that.
Yeah,
I mean, and that's the only thing that was really working for him is because I don't think we were used to that, and our defense made the adjustments, and
Is it
took
Larry
that away.
Johnson, the defensive
Yeah.
line coach?
Yep.
Yeah. Can we're all worried about the NIL money for the players. You all going to need to buckle up some money and give some to that man.
oh yeah,
Brian
'Cause I-
Hartline for sure. Too.
Brian Hurtline, got to keep that guy around because all I know is he had one hell of a speech apparently to these defensive linemen after that first drive, and they went off after that. It was a 3-and-out. I'm like,
yeah,
all right, we're back. And what made me feel great is just it took them like 9 minutes to go down there, and we're like 5 minutes. We're just like beep, 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 beep,
Yeah.
right down the line. I'm like, all right, I'm good. We're
yeah,
gonna
it was,
win this.
Was it 9 minutes and 45 seconds? I think
Yeah, it was
yeah.
a long.
It
Like,
was a
just
long
like, their
drive.
drive was just like doop doop doop.
Yep.
Doop 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 doop.
Yeah.
Doop, doop. And I'm like, come on, dude. Like, it's like 4 yards. And then when they would get to the fourth down run, because they were running all the way to fourth down, it'd be like 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards. I'm like,
Yeah.
it was annoying the living crap out of me. But
They only stayed in it because we were beating ourselves. Emeka had the fumble. They went touchdown, field goal, touchdown, and instantly came back. I mean, luckily we held them off. We won. It doesn't matter. I'm happy. I'm excited. We're national champions, and Buckeyes are going to repeat. So
man, that would be nice.
it would be nice.
It would be nice.
Can we be the next Alabama to just like run this thing for a little bit here?
This
And
is
the 12-team playoffs is going to make it tough. For
That
real.
is going to make
And
that is going to make it a lot more difficult.
And the NIL also has spread out the talent
The
amongst college
transfer portal where
It's
you don't have
changed
to
everything.
wait,
Yeah.
and then the NIL where you can basically pay and it's people talk about that. It's like, oh, if you $20 million, you get win a national championship. It's like, look, these guys, most of them were there the whole time,
right.
and And now in the day and age of the NIL stuff, don't go talking shit about how much money the schools are spending on these players, because how much money are other schools spending and they're not getting the caliber of players.
Right.
And it's not, and look at some of the caliber, you get some great players at some schools, but if you don't have the team and the coaching staff, if you don't have the system, look how many good players the Browns have had put into a crappy system, and we've just basically ruined careers.
And Ryan Day's assistants are impeccable. I mean, I'm still questioning Justin Fry a little bit, but Tim Walton for the corners, I mean, one of the best recruiting coaches in the country. Same thing with Brian Hartline. We have some studs, and they're getting paid, I think, $1 to $2 million per coach because they are getting paid their worth. I think they need to get a little bit of raise. We need to start, like you said, bringing in some more money for these guys, but I think they're one or two pieces away. Like I said, we're looking at Justin Fry a little bit. I mean, the offensive line played well in the playoffs, but a lot of Buckeyes fans are calling for an upgrade there. But other than that, we're stacked.
Our guy Dale Witten, his son, is going to be playing soon. I know he's going to be a baller.
Yeah, I think he's a practicing tight end, right? He recruited.
I think they recruited him as an athlete. To be honest with you,
he's a beast.
Yeah, he's
real tall.
Yeah, and hands and just smooth route running, smart kid, good kid. But that's going to bring us to the end of the show, guys, as national champions again.
Heck
I
yeah,
can
man.
keep saying that. We won the national championship. We won the national championship. But yes, thank you all for tuning in tonight. I am your host, Always Positive Jay. Ryan, you did another fantastic job. You're getting better every single week.
Trying.
Peter, you're always fantastic over there.
Jacob sleeping.
And Jacob, please just get ready to open that door next time. And if you got to run into the damn thing with the headbutt, dude, just get it open because it's too cold. With that said, we are the voice of the land. And like I always say, don't talk about it, be about it.
Buckeyes are going to repeat.
We'll see you when we see you.
See ya.